So if you're just joining us or you're catching us on the replay, welcome. And if you're in the US, happy Black Friday. It's kind of busy out there, I'm sure online, people ordering, but I drove by Walmart, a super Walmart, and I don't think there was a parking lot, a parking space available. It is just packed. And you know, it's something you wouldn't expect in this COVID pandemic, but the shopping malls are crowded here in Texas. So Wayne, I'm kind of excited about what we're going to do today. And it's kind of a, what would you say, a step back. We're going to take one step back to go two steps forward.
Yes.
Okay. And we've got a little presentation for you, and then we're going to go some demos. And then I'm introducing something that several of y'all have requested. I've done a lot of research. I haven't even shown Wayne this, so it's going to be exciting to see his response too. So Wayne, you want to start sharing your screen?
Yep, well done. Here we go. You can see that.
Yep.
Right. Hi, everyone. As you can see, I've got a nice picture of the Masher Sites box on the screen. Let's just drag my name off there. There we go. If there's going to be any questions, just tap them in and Damon field, and we'll see how we get on. But what we're going to do is quite a few people have said, so why Masher Sites? And hopefully this will kind of answer that question. So how did they come about and why? But as we said earlier, before we do that, we're going to go back and do a little, like a 30,000 foot history lesson. So as you all know, the World Wide Web is what we all use to go online, etc. But it was first formed in September 1994. Obviously, before then, the internet was around, but as we, the World Wide Web as we know it was starting to form, a guy called Berners-Lee founded the consortium, and some standards were being made at that time with some European foundations, and it was all starting to become documented and used in like a GUI kind of fashion. And then some of you will remember around 99 to 2000, there was that massive .com boom where low interest rates created many startups, and it was the novelty of being online. Anyone could raise funds just by having a domain name, literally. So lots of investment went into the web in this time. But of course, as I'm sure some of you know, 2001, that bubble burst, and many of the .coms went out of business, which was a bit of the influx of interest, and then people couldn't really back up what they said they were going to do, and it kind of, just having a domain name clearly wasn't enough. Around 2002, new ideas came for sharing content. Weblogs and RSS feeds gained acceptance for information exchange, and it was the start of the Web 2.0. Very early Web 2.0 started in this time. So something happened in 2002 that kind of like put people on the front of the map, really, on the internet space. A guy called Michael Valdrigi developed the blogging platform B2 Cafe Log, and it was used on approximately 2,000 blogs. Now, unfortunately, Michael ended up having personal matters that stopped him developing the B2 platform. But in 2003, Matt Mullenweb and Mike Little created a fork of B2. Now, you must have heard that phrase before, particularly now in crypto, where a crypto gets to a point and it forks and creates two. Well, this happened all the way back in 2003, where they took that B2 and they built it into what we now know as WordPress. So in 2004, the first version of WordPress was released, and it had a plugin then called Hello Dolly. So I'm sure some of you remember this. It was a tribute to the jazz musician Louis Armstrong, because the guys were into jazz apparently. Then in 2005, the web was starting to see many popular startups, PayPal, YouTube, all the tech started to pile in and realizing that this web is obviously going somewhere. So if we look at WordPress, in 2013, I've moved forward some years now, WordPress 3.8 was released, and it was the CMS that was taking on a life of its own. People can now create a website and start to blog. Now, little side note, WordPress is an open standard that anyone with PHP knowledge can understand and develop for. Now, we'll come back to that point, but basically, if you know what you're doing, you can create something or interfere with the platform. So let's bring ourselves up to 2020, and 5.5 version was released. Now, obviously, lots happened in between, but for the benefit of our get together, we don't want to go over the in-depth of all the years in between. But you can see now that WordPress is now 16 years old. It has many third-party developers, and it has an enormous amount of available plugins. It also has many themes and templates. Now, it's estimated that 33% of the web is actually powered by WordPress. So we have to ask ourselves, so why blogging? Why did it become the thing that it is today? Well, blogging became a way to voice your opinions. So if you have a blog, you can write your own articles and have your say. But popular blogs get repeat visitors, and repeat visitors meant opportunities basically to sell something. So if you wanted to build a list, you want to display ads, you want to sell a product, anything like that, the bottom line basically is to make money. So people had a blog, they created content, they want to make some money. But what's involved in blogging? So to blog, or basically to have a website, it brings opportunity, and 33% of the web chose WordPress. So unless you want to hire developers to build your own site, WordPress is where the majority of people end up. But what's actually involved? So you need hosting, a place for your site to live. Now that has a cost, obviously. You've got to have knowledge of controlling the hosting. So whether you know about cPanel or you've got your own virtual server, it all brings its difficulties to the fray, particularly if you're new. You have to have a database because the information's got to be stored somewhere. And yes, the hosting will have this, but it's still something you've got to know about and make sure that your hosting has got, say, MySQL or whatever database they want to use with your website. And of course, the updates. You've got to keep your WordPress up to date. Now, the security aspect of it, keeping your site safe. So there's a lot of plugins that you can use for this. So which one do I use? Which one do I trust? How much is it going to cost? Again, it's all money. Now, the plugins side of WordPress, you've got how do I know that the plugin I've added is safe? Now, I know of some sites that have, like, before they can get going, have got like 30 plugins connected to be able to do, well, I'm connected to this, I've got Cloudflare, I've got blah, 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 and I need all these plugins. You know, how many of them actually are ones that you need and ones that are truly safe? You've got to keep them up to date. And just before we go into themes, really, I mean, you've got the same issue all over again. So which theme should I use? Again, that's got a cost, because some of the good ones you have to purchase. And do I need to learn the page builder that came with it? So one theme uses one kind of page builder, one uses another, and sometimes they don't even have one. So you've got to do your own thing. And then you get to the disk space. So when we know of certain examples of people that have actually filled up the allotted disk space. So my site's getting big and I've outgrown the hosting. So that's more cost. You've either got to move to a different host, you've got to contact them, you've got to say, hey, I need more disk space because my site's getting big, etc., etc. And then you've got the traffic. So has my site exceeded the bandwidth? So if you've got lots of traffic coming in, some hosting companies will say that you've had all the calls to your site for this month, and they could put you on a metered system where you have to pay per 1,000 transactions, etc., or for how much bandwidth you're using. Again, cost. And at the end of the day, is my site fast? And is it mobile responsive? Very, very important. Now, as I mentioned before, WordPress is an open source, PHP, HTML, etc. So this can lead to security issues. The themes and the plugins could have security flaws, whether deliberate or not. Some are accidental, but this does lead to site hacking. And hosting, some WordPress hosting may not be as secure as others. Which ones? You know, who are the best, who aren't? Are you going to be lucky and pick one that is? Again, more cost. Now, if you do get unfortunately hacked, the downtime that this causes not only costs you money to fix, but it also costs you money in lost ad revenue. So if you've got a site that's generating money, if that site's not online, you're not getting that money. So you're losing money in two places, one to fix it and one with lost revenue. Now, in a recent study that was done, 73.2% of the data shows that at least 30,823 out of 42,106 identified WordPress websites, that's a mouthful, have exploitable vulnerabilities. And this can be verified by going to wpwhitesecurity.com, which is where we got it from. Quite a shocking number, really, that probably 30,000 of those people don't even know that. So this brings us to, well, okay, we know the vulnerabilities of all that, but what do we put on the site? So a successful site needs regular content, as we all know. This can be achieved by writing it yourself or hiring writers. Again, there's a cost in getting it written, and there's a time cost in doing it yourself, because you've got to basically, you're going to save the money doing it yourself, but it's going to take time. And if you hire other people to do it, you've still got to wait for them to finish and you've still got to pay them. So there's a trade-off there. So this brings us to this RSS feed. You remember a few slides back? Now, an RSS feed is a method to syndicate and curate content. It's written by others, so that basically they want to get their content out there, so that's why they do it. But how can we use this in a wise fashion? Well, as some of you know, we have a product called RSSMasher Technology. And it's our technology to procure content via RSS feeds for the repurposing to your own sites. So we can manipulate the feed, We can remove sections, we can add content, add links, add money hooks, etc., replace images and more. Now, of course, that information can be scheduled. So we schedule the finished content. It's automatically sent to your website. And then we also syndicate it to your social media accounts, Twitter and Tumblr, etc. So in a nutshell, this tool takes care of the content problem. So should you use WordPress? Well, RSSMasher technology obviously integrates to WordPress. So you can post regular content to your WordPress blog. But is it suitable for long-term growth? Because a successful Autoblog needs content every day. And WordPress gets bloated with big themes and numerous plugins, and especially lots and lots of articles. They are slow to load, and Google doesn't like this. You will get penalized for a slow site. It doesn't rank very well. And the API connection can be terminated. I'm sure there's people on the call that have experienced this. By the host leaving you on a support call for hours and sometimes days. Sometimes you get it working and everything works, and then they block it for some reason. So for all those reasons, WordPress probably isn't the best platform for this. So that's the question. Why Masher sites? We developed these for many reasons. It was to allow anyone to enter into the Autoblog world. It gives you hands-off site builds. So you enter your domain and the system will build everything for you. You know, you can go and make a coffee and your site's ready by the time you get back. There's no host to source, so you haven't got to worry about hosting. There's no themes to buy, no themes to install, so therefore there's no themes to update. There's no plugins to buy, so there's no plugins to install and update. There's no security issues to worry about either. So we have an autopilot site that self-updates with new features when they are released. So you don't have to worry about whether your site is up to date, because it gets done for you. And it will also, as new features get built and get added, when they're fully tested and happy, they get slid over to all your sites and you benefit from all the new features for free. And you get a perfect API connection to RSSMasher Tech and VidPenguin too. So none of those problems with the the hosting blocking the API and everything, all gone. Now you can install 2FA, which is two-factor authentication, for that extra added security if you wish. So you can use an app, Google Authenticator, on your phone to give you that secondary login. Now, Masher sites are built on proprietary tech. So in order to make them fast, we've designed our own caching engine technology, which makes them really, really super cool and super fast. The ad placement is easy. Now, for those of you that have tried to do that on WordPress, you obviously, sometimes you get away with it first time, sometimes you realize it doesn't work on a mobile device because they have to be put in a different widget when it's on the phone, or you have to make sure you've got the AMP plugin or all those other things. So Masher sites are mobile responsive without any extra setup. So you set the site up exactly how you want. You can check it on your desktop and you know it's just going to look all right on the phone without you even looking. Now, Masher sites come with a control panel. So you can manage all your sites from one place. So if you've got 5, 10, or even 50, you can manage them all from one panel on inside Masher sites. You also get an encrypted one-click login, and that that's a clever button that you press. You highlight the domain that you've got and you click it, and it logs you into the site. So it prevents you having to get to the login page, remember your username and password. And you might want to go to another one of your sites to see what you did there. So you can click and go straight to it, and then you can come back and click and go straight to the other one. You can just, click about with these magic links that log you in, but they also self-expire as soon as they're used, which is really clever. So that if you're doing a demo and if anybody sees you click and they manage to, let's say they're recording your session, even if they painstakingly typed in the massively encrypted URL, it wouldn't work, because as soon as it's used, it expires. And we also talk to Google Analytics, and we store all the data for the life of the site, not just for 3 or 6 months on the Google platform. Now, another thing that's done automatically is that all the meta tags and the SEO information for dynamically, it's all dynamically generated, so that it's, let's say you grab the link from a Masher site and drop it into Facebook, it'll format correctly, and it'll have the image, the featured image and all that. And Google will trawl the site, and it'll know what to look for, and it'll see all the right things in the right places. Again, something you don't have to worry about. So it truly is a platform to grow an Autoblog portfolio with confidence. No hidden costs because your site is popular. So let's say it goes off the chart and does really well. You haven't got to worry about traffic, bandwidth, or disk space. So we remove all the inconvenience of WordPress and we replace it with the convenience of Masher sites. And for those of you that don't know, we've currently got in the Masher sites, the ones that are live now, is we've got a video view site, which is a really nice site that allows you to build binge watch sites, a bit like a Netflix kind of thing, where we use RSSMasher to populate it with YouTube videos. And then you can build categories and menus and simulate all these videos on that site. And we've just released over the last few days an actual news blog site. And for those of you that have seen it, the excitement was overwhelming. It was excellent. But that allows you to do news blog sites, actual articles with content. You can put videos in, and you can have a special video section of it. There's a lot to the news blog site. Really good. And in development, we've got a newsworthy site coming, which is like a directory kind of. We do use the example of, like, for those of you that know what the Drudge Report looks like, it kind of like that, but nicer looking. But a similar kind of idea with lots of links on. So you'll be able to use those to kind of build directories of your own sites or other people's sites. And we'll have a site, a pin me site, which will be like images, be like, not like Pinterest, but similar is a good example of how to explain that one. And a special one that I don't think anyone knows about is we've got one coming called an affiliate shopper site. And that will allow us to build like product data feed sites, when as new affiliate products come out, that you can pump them straight into the site using RSSMasher, and it will keep your site up to date with the latest products, again, without you having to touch it. So I hope you like that kind of 30,000 foot view version, really, of why and where and how we got to where we are today.
Wayne, isn't there one more in there that we talked about?
There is. I was saving it as a treat.
Oh, okay.
The other one is a live sports tracker site. and that will create like live scores as they happen. You'll be able to build a site with them on, or even we might be able to inject things into a site that you've already got, like a special area, and that they will be able to display them over the top, which would be really cool. I mean, I'm sure in the US that'd be good, but in the UK, having live football scores would constantly bring people back to your site, especially during the match, definitely. Especially if they're at work and they're not meant to be listening in.
Yep. Well, and there's data feeds that have this now, and there's more and more of them coming out, because this is, everybody's staying online to watch the sports scores. So this is going to be kind of exciting. Now, this one is not planned until late next year, but what we really want to do is kind of give you a product roadmap of here's where we're going with Masher sites, and we've only gotten 2 of them out. So your investment in Masher sites is always going to be increasing in value, is what we hope, is giving you the ability to have 200 or 2,000 sites, whatever number you want in there. And currently we are running a Black Friday special where you get 20% more. Now that ends on Monday, and we're going to close down the one-time pay on Monday evening. So if you want some Masher sites for one-time pay, this is probably the last time we'll have it in 2020. Then we're looking at doing a monthly pricing to go from there. So we'll put the Wayne will drop the link in there. It's mashersites.com/Black-Friday. Now, we're kind of flipping the roles here. Is Wayne is going over the 30,000 foot level with you today, and I wanted to take on the task of showing you some of the sites that Wayne's built and I've built with the Masher site tool, and to show you we listen to y'all, and we want to make this the best possible Masher tool. RSSMasher, VidPenguin 2, even the Autoblogging ads network. So I've added something today, and I wanted to show it to you. So I'm going to share my screen now. How about a live voter site? Who said that? Your wish is our command here. Right now, this is the link, and I'll put it in the share button or in the share page on chat. Yes, I'll just post it right here. Okay. Now it's going to change. I've actually bought a domain name. Thank you, Fred Vinson, if you're on the call, is reminded me go to Namecheap, and the name is going to be myfeaturerequest.com. So I've got a custom domain that's going to point to this, but this is your voting, your feature request voting. So you're not going to see this admin box, but if you want to see what it looks like from the public view, I'll just go to incognito window here. Okay, and you'll log in and you'll be able to vote. So we have Masher sites. I've got 7 things in here. You can create your own post, your own feature requests and details. You can even make comments on it if you're logged in. So let's say you wanted to vote. So you could log in with either your Twitter, your Google, or an email, or sign up here. But this is going to allow you to vote on the most popular. Now, I just added these in. These are kind of roadmap features. This is just a testing. And once it's posted, you're going to see it in the roadmap, and you can change to any of these. So if you have a VidPenguin 2 feature request, click there, you can post it. If you want to change over and you want to do auto blogging ads, you have a great idea, just post it here. And this is, I've done a lot of research on this. In fact, let's do this. Wayne, can you put the Black Friday link in there? Okay, cool. Wayne just did that. So, guys, we want you to use this, and it's cost us a little bit of money each month to maintain this, but this is going to kind of give you an idea of where everything's at, the things that we've made live, and we're covering basically 4 platforms with this. And eventually we'll add, as we add new software in here, we'll add some more in here. We are coming out with hopefully after the first, a video prediction tool. And it will just be you put in your keywords, how likely are you going to be ranked on page 1 of Google or page 1 of YouTube? It's kind of just in the planning stage, and this is just, it won't be 100% accurate. Nothing can predict what Google's going to do, but it's going to take the things that Wayne and I have kind of looked into, and when you're looking at ranking videos, you've done this enough, you start seeing trends. There's certain things that you look for on a Google page, on a search, to let you know whether or not a video will rank. Well, we're going to build this out. It's not the highest priority, but our Autoblog ads and our Masher sites are our highest priority. These two are running excellent, VidPenguin 2 and RSSMasher. Now we're going to be putting in some integrations in with VidPenguin 2, combining it with Yive and some of their features. Also, we're looking into SynLab and some other API integrations that we can do with VidPenguin 2. Same with RSSMasher. So we'll be adding integrations, but most importantly is we're really focused on this one, is Masher sites and then the auto blogging ads. We want to give you the ability to do all these sites, along with having an ad network that you don't have to do anything. You just turn it on and let us place the ads, and you make the majority of the money. So this is where we're going with the voting. Hopefully, does this answer everybody's question about feature requests? I know we've had probably a dozen people talk about feature requests. So it is here, ready to go. And it's vidpenguinproductions.upvoting.com, and eventually it's going to be called myfeaturerequest.com. Okay, so we gone over that. Now, Wayne talked about the control panel. Now, before we go into that, I want to show you what a video view site is and what a news blog is. So this is a video view site. In fact, Wayne already has his AdSense ads in there. And this is one of his sites, and you can rotate these featured image blocks. We have 9 featured image blocks, and these are actual videos. So if you click on this scary one here, it will actually go over to the page, and you can hit play. And you can watch the video. And it pulls the description, it pulls the tags. We put an author in there. Now, you're running it through either VidPenguin 2 or RSSMasher. If you're running it through RSSMasher, you can add stuff to it. You can add a money link. You can do text replacement. You do everything that you typically do with RSSMasher. Now, this is a video view site, and they're all going to look very similar. Here's a pet videos. This is part of our PBN network. And y'all notice something over here? We've been experimenting with this, and we've got some little bit of bugs as it goes under the images there. But this is a type form pet quiz. So it's actually a side tab embed. In fact, it should be playing a little bit quicker than that. Must have some issues going on, right? Okay, there it is. Okay, so it pops out. It's inside of your pet videos. You can kind of see we've still got those images overlaying. But favorite pet, I like dogs. What type of maintenance do you want to do? Oh, well, I don't mind doing long-haired dog. What do you want to spend? Well, how about, I don't mind, let's go in the dollar section and hit submit. Okay, you're a dog person. Now, what we're going to be doing is adding some of these quizzes in that give us your email for a list of the dogs that fit this criteria. And then once you post your email, there will be a thank you page with an offer of some type, either an affiliate offer or a direct Shopify or Etsy or GrooveCart offer once they give us the email. And then we'll also ship them a list of the best dogs that match their criteria. So these little things right here, these quizzes are called micro engagements. You could do surveys, you could do any type. So you're going to be building quiz funnels, or we'll build quiz funnels in our ad network and drop them on your site for you. So there's a lot of things that you can do off of the basic sites, just in the script code. We want to keep it fast. So this is, I hope everybody, a light bulb goes off when you see this. And you can rotate it probably based on categories, and we're going to be experimenting a lot with these micro engagements. These are great ways to sell products and to collect leads. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that's one of our video view sites. Now, this is authentic Indian food. This is completely loaded up with VidPenguin 2. I use VidPenguin 2 just populate. And then I came back in and I added RSSMasher. So this is all Indian food recipes. They're all coming off of YouTube. I haven't even put any monetization on it yet. Very, very good looking site. I've got to subscribe to our newsletter. I've got the logo here. I've got popular tags. I haven't added any social accounts, but this was a name that I found using that name snagger. So, you know, some of the stuff that we taught on the last Geek Out Friday is grab those domain names, go into Namecheap. They actually have a sale going on today, and then come into your control panel and build your site. Here's another video view site. I know nothing about manicures or pedicures, but I found a really manicure videos. So I built a site with it, and it auto-populates every day from RSSMasher. Now, let's talk about what the news site is. This is the first of the news sites that we built. Wayne built this, trending in the news. And so I want you to start noticing how fast this thing loads. Now, this is the home page, and you're going to have a rotation of images or a post here. And you can click through it, or it will cycle every 3 seconds. And this is a carousel. And here's another carousel, but this is, you can tag this and you can decide what format you want. So we got like five categories in here. You kind of see it's jumping around. It's different type of theme sets. Here's another carousel that you can describe and recent post. So this is a beautiful news blog. It took 9 minutes for this site to build. Now, guys, if you've ever built sites before on WordPress, to do a really nice WordPress with the builder and set everything up initially, it would take a couple of days. Now, I'm going to click on this page. I want you to watch how fast this will come up here. Guys, this loads in less than half a second. Now, the caching that we're doing, that Wayne has set up, we're actually moving it back into the video view. So the video views are going to pop this fast. But this thing right here, this will load it in half a second, maybe even it might take a second, but this is faster than the news sites themselves that are posting it. And this is going to help your SEO. We're working on a whole lot of things on the back end of this with schema, with meta tagging, with the image optimization, so that we're going to have a really high rating on this news blog. We want to rank your post better than the actual news sites that are ranking. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to do it backwards. Is we're focused on mobile first, fast loading pages that meet all of Google's criteria. So we're actually going to be faster than the Google AMP pages is what one of our goals here. So you can see this has multiple images, and I'll click on another one. See how fast this pops up? Now, this right here is an ad space that Wayne has open right now waiting for AdSense approval. So that's why you see a blank spot there. Loads really, really fast. Now, I love these sites, but the thing I like about our Masher sites more than anything else is the control panel. Is you can add your sites here. You just click add. You'll put in the name of your site, your domain name. You'll choose which one you want, and you can give it a group name. And I set up groups ahead of time. And then you hit update. And then what it's going to show here, it will show these settings here waiting to be activated. Now, these aren't activated. I'm moving them from GoDaddy to Namecheap, so I'm waiting for the migration to resolve, and then I'll activate them. But to activate, it literally takes 9 to 10 minutes to do the whole thing. It will start here. It's going to add it to Cloudflare, build your database, build your website, add the scripts, and then it will come back and site completed. So that took all of 10 minutes to build this site out. Now it's ready to go and to start populating. Now, this one, I'm having some security. Somebody did some very bad stuff with that one, so it's not, I've taken it offline right now.
Yeah, the domain previous was tainted a little bit.
So here's the one I'm building out this weekend, Consumer News Network. If you'll notice, CNN. Kind of love this site here. I found this on NameSnagger. I was shocked. You know, for $5 a month, that's probably the best way to find domain names. So Consumer News Network. Here's what I love about it. You can visit the site, or you can do a one-click login. Let's just see what the site looks like. It's going to put it in another tab for you. Well, I guess I didn't finish that's not, let's look at great cooking tips. I've got something going on that site domain, and it's probably on my domain site. So
which one was that? Because this
Consumer News Network.
Okay, because there was an update today, so you carry on and I'll have a look.
Okay. So this is a video view site. It's ready to start posting content in here. So this is what an empty site looks like. And it is ready to go. So what I've done is I've gone in and spent about 20 minutes. In fact, it was on one of the case studies in Masher site. You'll see how I spent about 20 minutes. I made a logo, made my menus up here, put some categories in there, and now I'm all ready to go and start loading it up with content, either through VidPenguin 2 or through RSSMasher. So guys, this is what I like about Masher sites is that you don't have to think about how do you build this? What security, what plugins do I use? What template do I need? What themes, and I don't have to go in each week and update things. In fact, I know there's one guy on the call that his sites were hacked. And I think he was down for a week or 2 weeks. And I don't know how much he spent in fixing it. But I've been hacked probably 3 times in the last couple of years. And I'm down for a week. And because I had so many WordPress, I have, and they're all Autoblogging sites that I had. And that really affects everything. Because one, you have to put your time and effort in it, or you have to pay money for somebody to fix it for you. So we've solved a lot of the problems that you encounter with WordPress of getting hacked and all the design requirements. Instead, now we're focused on content. Content, traffic, and ads. That's how you make money. You don't make money by spending a week looking at the template, looking at the builder, getting all excited about the plugins that you put in there. We want fast sites that you can populate, you can build traffic to, and you can automate. So you set it and forget it is kind of the goal that we have. Now, here's the nice thing. If you've never had a centralized control panel, the ability to log in, one-click login, you don't have to worry about what's my password or did I save the password? And now I'm in great cooking tips. I'm ready to, I can change categories or add categories. Tags are auto-generated, like this one. I haven't even set up, I haven't set content to come over here, so there's no tags yet. But we pick up the tags from RSSMasher or VidPenguin authors. I've got a couple of authors in here, and then this is your advertising. This is how you can individually look at your advertising, and we've got multiple locations for everything. So if you're just going with Google Ads, that's all you need is put in the text file that Google AdSense gives. But if you're doing some like banner ads, give it a name. It can either be HTML or it can be an image. If you post an image in there, then you'll need, you'll put your image click in here, the URL. We even have an image directory. So if you had some images already in there, just use your image directory to find it. And then you can just make it active or you can turn it off and then hit update. This is the simplest way I know to put ads in a site. Now, the site setup, really basic. Here's your logo, title, footer text, footer logo, favicon. And we do the footer logo in a dark background. So, you know, you want to just kind of reverse your lettering there. Your favicon, default author, homepage, bottom header. You can even do a default category image. So each category can have their own image background. And then the time zone, and then hit update. That's all it takes to do your site setup. Now, I use Google Tag Manager. So I put my tag manager over here. This is where I'm going to have analytics. I'm going to have all the Facebook pixel, the Pinterest pixel, the Hotjar, the heat tracking maps. And this is where you put the ad list. This is the social integration right there. And you can put your newsletter right here. We use Raza, recommend it, get the free version. You can have up to 2,500 people on your registration. Now, whenever you load in your site setup, make sure you change this because they're coming to my newsletter. I use that as a placeholder for you. I don't mind the business or the traffic, but you probably want to build your own newsletter list. Now, next time we have a Geek Out Friday, that's all we're going to be talking about is newsletter. How to automate a newsletter. I got 3 different ways to automate it that gives you really great viral content. And we'll talk about that next time on our Geek Out Fridays. So you got your terms and privacy. We've made it so easy on terms and privacy. I got it. You hit set your date in here. It's going to be 11/27. You need to change the date format and you hit build terms. Hit OK. It's just going to rebuild your terms for you. You change anything in here. This is the full editor. You can add pictures. You can put your own emails in there. And the same for build privacy policy. I can't think of any easier way to put your Google requirements in there than clicking a button. When you're done, you just hit update. Security, we talked about you can do 2-factor authentication or change your password. Now, I'm logging in through the control panel, so I don't even worry about that. Integrations. You want to put your Google Analytics in, and it will start reading the analytics of these. So it's going to pull down the analytics. In fact, I don't think I've even tagged mine in there. So in addition to building your sites, to managing your sites, it's also going to collect all your data, your traffic data through the Google Analytics. And again, like all our software, you're going to have a fact sheet of where we're at on everything. And so we get the news blog, and then we've removed the beta and we've made it live. So this is, And if you want to turn on an RSS feed, let me show you how simple it is. You can either do summary or you can do full count, full content, and you hit update. And here's the cool thing. If you want a category feed, grilling tips, and there we go. So I have an RSS feed for grilling tips that I can, I can run it back through RSSMasher if I wanted to put it onto another site. I can use this category feed to feed a newsletter. That's one of the quick ways to feed a newsletter. So there's a lot of things that we have built, that Wayne has built, that makes this so easy to use. And then your default meta information. So you can put a default social image here. So if they share your page, this is the information they're going to see on the social networks. And if you actually want to go in and add a post yourself, title, and this is a video view site, so you need to put in a video view code in here. Published day, view counts, you can even set a view count, put the slide, and put the content in here as if the YouTube description. So there's a lot of things you can do manually, but Wayne and I are both of the same mindset. If you can do it manually, you can automate it. So guys, I didn't want to go into a lot of details. In our Masher sites training, we have all the details on how to build these video view sites out. And so this is a completely empty site. And that's kind of what I want to show you. That's what an empty site looks like. And this is what a fully functioning RSSMasher site looks like, a video view site. And you can choose which videos. So in the training, I use VidPenguin 2 to be very selective with the images I put in, the first 12 images, and then I'll place them. So I have actually spent some time on deciding what I want to play. This gets your attention more than anything else. And then the cute puppies, and then this kind of lets you know there's an aquarium, you know, there's more than just dogs and pets on here. But this is a PBN. So if you're posting to our PBN, your images will start showing up in here also, or your videos. Okay, so I didn't want to go into a lot of detail. We go into that detail in the training. This is another video view site, but this is the news site. This is the news blog, and it is going to be really powerful because of how fast the thing is and how good looking it's set up so that you don't have to think about anything but what content you want in there and how you're going to get that content to the social networks.
You can try your other one now, Consumer News Network.
Okay, let's look them out.
Yeah, it was because you'd set it up before we added a new feature. So the code that needs to, basically the database field was missing what the new code puts in. Your old data didn't have it because you had it before that feature existed. Okay. So obviously, everyone moving forward from today, it would never happen. Yeah. So I've just sorted that, and there you go. So this is a blank news site ready to populate with RSS feeds. And again, I've got, now I want to show you something. In fact, Wayne, it's in trending here. Okay. If you want to do this, if you want to blueprint your site, and what I mean by blueprinting is you want to be very specific with your menus and what shows up in the menus, pages. Did you set any of the pages up here on your trending? No. You haven't opened that feature yet, have you? Yeah, it's live. I just haven't used it in trending. Okay. Basically, we can now, you can add a post, but you can treat it as a page. And then that can be added to a menu. So effectively, you can create static content that you can put in the menu rather than have it on the site as a post.
And what that does for you is whenever your site is being crawled and you want to be very specific on what the crawlers pick up, this is how you do it inside the menu. Is they're going to see it as technology, gaming, and you can put page data in here that will be picked up also. So this is a way to blueprint your site. But the best thing is if you're doing lead gen, you're selling a product, if you want a specific page that is is your revenue maker, make it in, post it in as a post manually, and then you just turn it into a page, just a little checkbox. And then you put that page in here along with your categories. And then we've given you the ability to move the categories around. If you want tech giants above gaming, you can do that also.
Yeah.
So these are really good looking sites, these news blogs. But the thing is, they load fast. And if you're looking at it from the terms of, is it mobile responsive? Let's just look. And I know this is kind of a cheating test, but this is the way you check for mobile responsive. One of the ways. So let's pull this one up here. See how fast that loads? And it reformats, and the images are optimized, and we're doing some things on the back end that are just, that Google just absolutely loves. And Google's algorithm changes are based on speed and is it mobile first. Brian, that post page method, I think you inspired us on that one. Brian asked, this might be redundant, but can we create an Avatarial page and add it to our sites? Yes. This is what the post page method does for you, is it allows you to make that a static page versus having it, if it's a post, it's going to cycle through here. So if we got 5 new posts coming in every day, this is going to cycle. And we're going to put the page method in here so that in the carousels, you can actually select pages. And that's probably in a couple of weeks. But down here, you can put pages in these menus. And then up here, you can put pages in the menus. And that is for an Avatarial page or a list sickle. That's what I'm going to be using it for, is list sickles. Yeah, Scott, you can put that static page. It could be the top 10 wedding gifts. And that could be the top 10 wedding gifts. And then over here, the top 10 wedding gifts, if you wanted to put that page in multiple. But you can do as many pages, post to pages. Now, here's the idea here, guys, is you can use on RSSMasher, you can use big content. You can use Menterprise, send it to a Google Sheet, and you can put Menterprise in there. You can write your own original content and put it in there. You can do the Avatarial pages, the list sickles, the lead gen pages. If you want to get Mike Martin's lead gen content, you could actually build a page that links back to his lead forms. Yep. And Scott, you asked a really good question, and that's where this new this new thing that we have over here, the VidPenguin Productions upvoting.com, that's where you'll put, can we add a Google form right in here? Absolutely. In fact, that's probably going to be an easy one. Yeah, Kent, you asked a good question. What kind of traffic are you getting to these sites? Before we even started doing master sites, we got hell of a read just as our test case. This is a WordPress site. And we get a lot of social traffic from it because all it is built to do social celebrity feeds and news feeds and stuff. And we got it pushed into our social networks. What kind of revenue? Revenue is dependent on traffic. But you could make $1 a day, you could make, $50 a day. It's how much traffic and how do you have it monetized? Wayne and I personally, we like the ability to come in here and let me find it is, I like the ability to do quizzes, to do micro engagements. So I'm building lead lists off of it. That's my goal, is to build leads. You could have AdSense in here, and that could be your primary monetization. You have Amazon. It's really dependent on, these sites are designed to go out and have a very good presence on social media. So you want to hook up your social media inside of RSSMasher. Question here is, do we need our own Masher license to build those sites? If you buy one Masher site, you buy 3, you buy 10, you buy 50, you're going to get this control panel to go with it. And the control panel will keep track of your credits for you. So I've got a 50 credit package. I've used 13 of them. So get some numbers. I've got 13 that are completed and 2 that are.
You've got 2 that aren't active.
Yeah. So I've got 35 credits remaining. Now, if you put a domain in here and you start building it out, that domain is locked in our database. So you can't go, well, I'd rather have a news site instead of a video view site. Nope, it's always tagged to video view site. I would say in the future, we're going to be able to delete this, add the credit back in, but that's not anytime soon. So when you put your domain, make sure you know which one you're going to get, because it's locked in there for you.
Yeah, there's too much going on in the background to be able to reverse it out.
And I forgot to mention is the Dns Tax Records. Is when you have Google Search Console, they're going to give you a text record to put on your domain. This is how you do it. You just put it in there, and it will be like text, or it could be an A record or anything, and then you put the content and you hit add. And it really is that easy. You just choose whichever domain, and then your Google Web Search Console will be approved. And then this is where you're going to check your analytics. And like I said, I don't think I've got Google Analytics actually set up yet. Yeah, I don't have it set up.
Assad's, yes, it's RSSMasher that's populating the sites.
Oh, that's all right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, this is the control panel. You get one of these with all your Masher sites, and you can control all your Masher sites in one place. I hope that answered that question there. Yeah, Ken, we did last week. It was we talked about domain name finding, and I don't know if I have a current. I'll just look up another Google sheet here.
Couple of questions while you're doing that. Garen asked about the post page. Is that in the video view sites? No, not yet, but we will retrofit it.
Yeah, let me see if I can find one of these name snagger.
And Fred's noted, sorry, Damon. Fred's noted top left-hand corner. There's a language option, and yes, we once it's all done and working well, we plan to add some languages in there so that when you select them, it will instantly translate. So if we've got French and you select French, it'll translate it all into French.
Yeah, this is, so every day on NameSnagger, you get a list. NameSnagger you pick up through Warrior Forum, and I'll put in a link for you if anybody missed last week. I kind of kicked myself in the foot because I showed y'all how to do this, and now it's making it tougher for me to find. So I'm in here really quick. I go to this little cell right here. I hit Control F. I'm going to look for videos. I don't see any there, so look for news, charity newsletter, news, top news. That's not very good. Reviews, gossip. So I'm looking for something that, would be a viral domain name. Tips is another one that I look for. Better skin tips. This might be a good one there. That would be a good one to take down. And then I'll just go in and I'll look for these domains in here. Black Friday luggage, box office bonanza. So anyway, this is how I find expired domains. You have to be really fast because some of the good ones really go quickly. Watch the Geek Out Friday from last week, and that will show you exactly how to find these. And I posted a couple of them in the Masher site that I thought were really good. I just got too many other things going on to buy 5 domains in one day. But you could see some of these domains that almost all of them here were bought as expired domains, except for Busy Bee Films and RSS Superfeeds. Top cruise destinations, I found that as an expired domain. Teaser clips was an expired domain. Manicure videos, baby health news. This one, I need to spend some time on it because this one will get me a lot of traffic off of certain Facebook groups and social networks. Authentic Indian food is the same way. I just got to, there's only so much time in the day to get all these hooked in, but the sites are really easy to build. That's the whole beauty of this. In fact, let's visit Baby Health News. This is a video view site. So it's auto posting right now from RSSMasher, and all it is baby stuff, food, diapers, anything about baby health care. And so this is going to be a good site down the road. I'm just building out social networks. So guys, I know we've gone over a lot of stuff. I think we had the best question of the day. Why should I use regular WordPress after using this? Well, the trick to it is I use WordPress to build your business websites, and I'll still use that. So like here's my own business site. It's more than just a blog, an Autoblog. So this is my consulting business. And it's just it's a standard WordPress site, but I don't have a lot of, this would be my blog content right here. But you see how slow it loads. I'm going to have to go in there and reset the cache, reset the image optimization. And guys, I'm in web design. I shouldn't have to do this all the time, but this is the things you get with WordPress.
Sounds like we need another site type. Yeah.
I mean, it should load really quick, and I know what I'm doing. I'm just it's something I have to go in and change the cache or do things. And I didn't. I just kind of picked that one, but I can load up some of the other ones I've built that they load, but they don't load this fast. So like this one here, we're going to actually improve the speed of this video view site. So the idea here is you get them in, they're not coming in on the home page. They're coming in on these pages. This is what's shared on Facebook or on Twitter. So they'll come in here, they'll have all this down here. I haven't even put any ads on here yet. This is a great one to put ads, is baby products. I have some. This looks like a grandma wrote this article. And this is from the YouTube description. Now, you can delete all this if you want. I just leave it in there because I want to go through this as fast as possible. But you can put your own links anywhere in here. And if you're using VidPenguin 2, this is the easiest way to do it, is whenever you're bringing VidPenguin 2 and you're posting it to a master site, just delete all this. And you put whatever content you want right here. Okay. And again, you got your newsletter, put your social accounts, you're ready to go. I hope this is not, just to sell master sites. However, it doesn't hurt our feelings if you like our master sites, that you want to buy some more, or you want to, get your first package. We do have a sale running, like I said, is mastersites.com/Black Friday. There it is. And if you'll go down to pricing, this is a one-time pay. This is going away in 3 days, 11 hours and 46 minutes. We're giving you 20% more. So if you want to buy a 10-site package, you're actually getting 12 sites for the price of 10. And the one-time pay, the beauty about this is you don't have to worry about hosting or anything else in the future with this. It's fed with RSSMasher and VidPenguin. But we get lifetime hosting, get two-factor authentication. Wayne went over no plugins, and it is going to be the fastest page load Autoblog in the world. That's our goal with this. We want fast, mobile responsive pages on everything that we do, because that's the way that Google is looking at you in the future and currently. Okay. Anything else that we can cover? I know we wanted to take a step back, and I hope y'all appreciate this, is WordPress carried all of us for a long time. In fact, I still design with it. But it has so many themes and plugins that it's causing bloatware. And I don't know if you've heard that term, but what it does is it makes things slow to load. You saw my business site, it should be popping. And I got all types of optimization tools in there, and I should know better. I do this for a living. But even if you do this for a living, it still takes time to tweak and fix, and every week you need to be going into your WordPress. We hope that's never the case with master sites. Okay, last question. Somebody asked about, can we see where we can put our request again? Okay, people are starting to put some request features in here. That's where you put them. Google Forms, excellent. Download PDFs, great question. In fact, I'm going to upvote that, and I'm going to upvote this one. Okay. And right now it's vidpenguinproductions.upvoting.com. Eventually it's going to be myfeaturerequest.com. Okay. Anything else, Wayne, that we can address?
No, but obviously, if you want master sites, then you should basically get them, because it does actually cost us money, really, long term, to do what we're doing. But we're doing it because obviously we want to get them out there. We want you to benefit, and the people that buy them on the one time become our founding members of people that bought master sites, and you'll be looked after. And I think you know that.
Yep. And guys, we're glad that y'all want to buy, or you want to be part of the team and be founding members. But we're building this for ourselves too. This tool is so that we can have sites like this that are auto-blogging, that already have ads on them, like screen teasers, and so that we can do polling and micro engagements and things like that. And our goal is we're going to focus on content. We're going to focus on traffic. we're not going to focus on building sites and the plugins and updating and security, because you don't make money that way. You make money when you send traffic to your sites. And that's just pure and simple. And the way to send traffic is you got to be consistent, and you have to have good content. And you have to, maybe share a post every once in a while, or boost a post in your pages. And we're going to be talking more and more about all this, both in Masher sites and our Geek Out Fridays. How do you do social traffic? That's one of the reasons we're building an Autoblog ad network, is because we're going to be cross-promoting sites and content and niche opportunities. Fred, we don't have a monthly pricing set up yet, but they'll be affordable. The better deal is to pay one time if you can afford it, but the monthlies will be very affordable. You might not get as many, but they will be tied in with RSSMasher. And that the monthlies will probably come out mid-December, but we're shutting down the one-time pays on Monday at midnight. Any other questions, Wayne, that we could answer?
Oh, there's a bit of a long one from Azad. Did he hear right? Delete a site and able to reuse the credit. Yeah, even though Damon did say that, we will have to talk about that, because there is a lot going on in the background, a lot of resources in play to create the sites. So yeah,
we might not have that available. And if you sell a site, you get, and we're not going to give you a free site if you sell one of your sites. So we've talked about this in the past in other webinars. It's just it's one of those things that we're not going to. There's some people that will go in, test the site for 7 days, delete it, get the credit back, and do this. And right now, we're not set up to do that.
Yeah, I think if someone's got a really good case as to why it should be done, then obviously we're not going to ignore you. Like, let's say, oh, I've bought a domain and it's, it's been used for something else, and I wish I hadn't have, and I've put it on Masher, then we'd probably do it for you.
Yeah, and that's a great example. Is a bad domain. I didn't check it. It's probably was a porn site. I don't know what it was, but in that case, we'll have to do some programming to back it out and put the credit back on. But that would be one case that we would work with.
Yeah. And there's another good question from Azad about if you flip the site, the sites, we have to stipulate that the sites will never leave our hosting. So if someone wants to buy it, they've got to realize it stays where it is, but they become the owners of it. The biggest reason for this is that it's our proprietary tech, and we don't want it to be distributed all over the place on a hosting that's not as good as where it is. And eventually someone will say, oh, I've got a Masher site and it's rubbish because it's been put on some tin pot server and all the cleverness has gone out of it. And we don't want people to reverse engineer the code if that's at all possible, because they've got all the DLLs and everything that runs it. So to keep it as it is, it needs to stay as it is.
Yeah, and when we get the Autoblogging ad network set up, and it's not, I think you may have missed one of these calls, but we mentioned it in the past. We're going to be doing some really neat things with these sites in the ad network. Is the ability to flip a site, to lease a site, to do seller financing on a site. And when the new buyer comes in, the buyer, he may want to do something completely different with the domain name. And that's fine. He can do whatever he wants with the domain name if he's bought it from you. But if he wants to continue, and let's say you have some really good traffic and you're making, you know, a recurring income on it, and he's buying that recurring income, he's going to have to buy the site, and then he'll have to buy an RSSMasher license from us. And, you know, we'll have an affordable monthly if it's just one site. But there's, you know, we designed this so that you can transfer down the road these sites to somebody else if they want to pick up a new RSSMasher license. So anyway, I think that we're almost at an hour and a half. You know, sometimes, guys, the Geek Out Fridays are not going to be techie. They're going to be strategy. And hopefully we've given you some ideas. Here's where Autoblogging's been in the past. And guys, I had at one point in time over 2,000 sites, and I had 500 that were Autoblog, making some good money. And then Google shut me down, or they de-indexed these Autoblogging sites back in like 2007, 2008. And it was the only ball game in town. You didn't have social networking to get your traffic. Our sites right now, 80 to 90% of the traffic comes directly from social networks. So if that gives you any indication, is we are going to be helping on SEO just by speed and mobile responsive, but you're going to get sites, you're going to get people to your pages by sharing it on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, you know, all these sites.
The one caveat, the one thing that does happen rather quickly with the Masher sites is they get indexed really quick. I mean, Trending in the News was 3 days old, and it was already listed in Google.
Yep.
Whether it ranked for a keyword, I mean, that takes a bit of time, but Google had already trawled it and brought it in. So, you know, going forward, you will see organic traffic. Yeah. Particularly one of the strategies in RSSMasher about building your backlinks and your bloggers that post back to it, and etc.
And Garen asked a good question. I don't know if you answered it yet, Wayne, is do we have the post to page switch on video views, or is it just news blog?
Yeah, no, I did answer that one. It was, we're going to retrofit it, but it's not there just yet.
Yep. So some of the things that we're doing on Newsblog absolutely are going to get retrofitted to video views. Because our idea is speed and mobile responsiveness. And some of the little things like the post to page, guys, it's such a simple concept, but it is such a powerful tool for doing lead gen and marketing, especially if you've got, you know, any type of listicle or articles with sales content in. So anyway, Wayne, anything else before we leave today?
No. Well, just all I'll say is we did, you know, we had a lot of people say, you know, who haven't been like brought up to speed with, well, what are Masher sites that I've been seeing. So that's why we started this the way that we did with the backstory and
yep.
led into it. So it kind of answers where they came from.
And Kent asked a really good question. Should I start with RSSMasher or Masher sites? Well, Kent, you need RSSMasher to populate your Masher site. And, you know, just if you start out with the minimum, the small package on RSSMasher, and just buy you 3 sites right now, and you can get the 4th site free. So you can get 4 sites on Masher, but you need RSSMasher to populate it. Hope all that helps. Yep. Okay, cool. Guys, we will see you in 2 weeks, and that will be on December 11th. And we're going to be talking on December 11th about automating newsletters and some RSS feed strategies you probably have never even thought of that we're using. So we'll see you on December 11th. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.